Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Okay, so this is going to be another video about avoidance, and this video specifically is going to be about the pain and suffering of dealing and interacting with an avoidant. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way at all. It's the truth, and I've got a really, I guess, a soft spot for avoidance because essentially inside they're very good people, they're loving people, but the things they do really, really hurt people. You know, the person who made these songs, they did use AI, but they themselves, put in the lyrics and put in the words and the story, so the AI will make up the music and put the words together. So it's a really cool thing. But the one thing I will say, and I don't know if she listens to these videos, I believe she's an avoidant because all of the music that I've listened to of hers, she has a lot of music, it's all about avoidant issues. Okay, I just turned the volume down, and it's going to go down a little bit more in about 40 seconds. Okay, so this video was stimulated by another video made by an avoidant, and her name is Talia. I actually really, really like her. She really teaches very, very well, and I just like her overall style. But there's one thing that I had noticed, and I think it was because of the video. Let me go back to the video real quick and I'll see what it was that triggered this thought. Okay, so yeah, I found the video. The title itself is what triggered or stimulated this video that I'm making right now. It's why dismissive avoidance ghost after, let's see what it says here, after things get intimate. And I thought, yeah, that's true. So I consider myself very lucky because essentially from almost the very day I met this person to the day we stopped talking, it was about 3 months, whereas a lot of people, it's like 9 months, a year, 2 years. Some people even say longer. And my thing is, I can't imagine the pain you would suffer after an avoidant would ghost you after being with them for a year or 2 years or whatever, and going through the whole roller coaster ride. So this song is basically, a young man expressing the pain and the suffering of a relationship and a breakup and being separate. And when I watched her video, there was this incongruency about it, which I was just kind of biting my tongue on. Jeez. So as she's talking about, hey, well, why dismissive avoidance ghost you after they get intimate with you and or close to you, blah blah blah. And she's doing it with this big old smile and just happy as can be. And that's the thing, she's a very charming young lady. By the way, she's a dismissive avoidant herself. I think she does mention in some of her videos that she was a dismissive avoidant. Now she's not. She went to therapy. But none of, and it's always a very quick blurb about that, but none of them ever say, hey man, I was in therapy for 15 years or 12 years, or I had to bounce from one therapist to another until I found one that actually knew what they were doing, and here's what happened. None of them break it down, and I'm thinking, wouldn't that be the most important thing to tell other dismissive avoidants? Hey, there's help. It can really work, and here's the style and type of therapy that worked for me, or whatever. But they never mention it, and she's another one of those avoidants who make videos that say they're not avoidant anymore, but they never say anything else after that. So here's what I'm saying. I really like the video she made. It was a short, and I appreciate it, and I like her a lot. I very much support her. I refer her, etc. So what I'm trying to say, it may sound bad, but it's not. It's just that there is this complete and total disconnect in the entire community, because most of the people that are making avoidant videos are avoidants. And it's this one-sided story of, here's the way you need to deal with avoidance, here's what you got to understand, and here's the thing that I'm saying, okay, but what about our side of the story? What about what you need to understand? So what she says right in the very beginning of the video is, if they disappeared right after you got close, here's what might be happening. And it's a really quick video. Essentially, they're terrified of being relied upon. They're terrified of getting emotionally close, and all these things. And that's fine. And there's no problem with that. I like, hey, that's cool. But she said, oh, so send this to someone that you think might need this to hear this. And I'm kind of thinking, like, what about the other side of the story? And I think I wrote it in that video. Maybe it might have been another video of someone else's, but I wrote down, like, no, it wasn't her video. I wrote down, like, hey, I really think you need to focus on the other side of the story. And really what it is people that deal with avoidance. I mean, it's like you have so much fun. In the very beginning, they basically, here's why. Avoidance, so I Googled something, essentially said avoidance. Let's see if I can find it real quick. So essentially avoidance, in the beginning, they're infatuated with you. Because I think someone said, can avoidance fall in love? And essentially said, in the beginning, avoidance, here it is right here. Can dismissive avoidance fall in love? It says dismissive avoidance might develop infatuation quickly, but real emotional connection, that takes much longer. And it goes on and on and on about, all the problems and the challenges and, dealing with their emotions and feelings and all that stuff. But the infatuation is so powerful. And it is so fun. It is so amazing. It's just like, whoa, like this is the best relationship I've ever had, or best dating experience, or what do you want to call it. And then the minute they start to open up, puff the magic dragon, they are gone. For the average person that is connected to their heart and emotions, that's like ripping your soul out. That's like ripping your heart out. Now here's the thing, like I was watching Talia's video, it's just kind of like, okay, it's not even only her video. But if you look at all these videos, you look in the comments, how many people say, if you meet an avoidant, run right now. Trust me, it's going to destroy your life. And you see all these comments that are essentially not just on her channel, but other people's channel is ignored. It's a very one-sided story here. Their side. They don't want to hear the other side because they don't want to deal with other people's emotions and pain and suffering, even if they're the ones causing it. That's the whole thing about avoidance, is they are avoiding dealing with anything. With emotions, fear, problems, pain, responsibility. And one of the things that I do appreciate about avoidance, this is one thing, even the one I dealt with like almost early on, she goes, hey, that's your stuff. Like, I don't want to get involved in that. I was like, whoa, I'm just mentioning something, and it was like really quick. Like, they don't want to have any connection to having any responsibility for your life in any way. The thing that I appreciate about it is they'll say it really fast. Now, here's the deal. If you knew, okay, watch this. I think this is a good thing. If you knew right away when you met someone, like let's say after the first date, you say the second date. And like, hey, I need to let you know something. I am an avoidant, and I want you to watch these videos and read this and that so you understand what you're getting involved in. Like, we are not going to connect. We are not going to fall in love. We are not going to get married. I'm going to run eventually. I'm going to see I really believe that the average person, if they know what they're walking into, they can deal with it. But when you think you're falling in love and you think that here's the thing. I think in the beginning, an avoidant believes that they are, I don't know if I'm going to say it this way. This may not be the correct way to say it, but they are so infatuated with you that it's like they're falling in love with you. At least they believe they are, or they're having so much fun. And the problem is it leads you to believe like, wow, this is the one. This is the one. And your heart opens wide open. And then when they leave, it hurts. So if they could just sit down and say, hey, you need to know something about me, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you're like, oh, okay. So the early phase, it's going to be about infatuation, and the minute I start to open up to you, I'm going to leave. If you ask for, here's another thing, like any kind of, even a joke, a mention of any kind of commitment, it'll freak them out, and you'll never see them again. They will ghost you. And again, it's because literally the name avoidant, they avoid any kind of commitment, any kind of responsibility. I really do believe one of the biggest answers to this equation or challenge is, I think if they knew, like, hey, if you let people know what's going on before they fall in love, before they open their heart, before all this infatuation for the first 2 or 3 or 4 months, I think they're going to be like, oh, I get it. So this is kind of like we're going to I don't know, like a like Great America or Six Flags or Disneyland. We're gonna go on some rides. We're gonna have some highs and lows and ups and downs, and then when the ride's over, we part our ways. I think that would save a lot of heartache. One thing I know about avoidance from personally talking and dealing with them is they're like, I don't know why people always get mad at me. And in fact, that's something she had said to me, not early on, fairly early on though. But at this point, I still didn't know what an avoidant was. I had no idea that she was one either. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, okay, I have a feeling I'm going to go for a ride here. And I did. So to answer that question, one of the things with avoidance is when they first meet you, there's this infatuation. It's overwhelming. It's amazing. It's awesome. But then what happens is they get overwhelmed with emotions. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit. And they have to shut down. And they have to run. They have to leave. Now, when they leave you, to them, and they call this the first phase, it's like, like to us, when we first fall in love, that's amazing. To them, this is kind of like that phase. When they leave you, it's like, oh, freedom, and they're happy and they're joyful. And it's not necessarily because they're mad at you or they don't like you. No, it's because the responsibility factor of, oh, we're getting too close and we're starting to make rules and commitments, and oh no, and they're trying to escape that. But I would say even more importantly, the number one thing they avoid is falling in love. They have not even that. I should say opening up their emotions and connecting on an intimate level emotionally. That's what freaks them out. And so when they leave, they're like, oh, I can breathe, I'm free. And it's not like you trapped them or did anything wrong. It's an issue that they have. Okay, so here's my point and purpose in sharing that. So here's what they don't understand. And I remember when I'm like, you don't understand that you're ripping people's hearts and souls out? Like, what the fuck? Like, everybody knows that ghosting people hurts. It hurts them. Like, how do you not understand? Well, here's why. To them, when they pull out and pull away, they get relief. It's like, oh, finally, relief, right? You have to understand, this is their experience. Their neurology receives this experience. They're wired this way neurologically. We're not. To us, that hurts like hell, like we're getting our hearts and souls ripped out. To them, and then of course people are like, well, why won't you talk to me? I don't understand. So it's exactly like Talia said, if they disappear right after you got close, and that's exactly what happens. When they start to feel close to you emotionally, that's when they leave. And here's the thing, because in the beginning it's all fun, and it's fun, and then there comes this moment when you can feel it. Like they open, and here's the thing, they kind of get so caught up in it, they don't realize they're doing it, but when they do, they're like, and then they close the door. And it's like this, like, whoa. And it feels like, people use the hot and cold to play mind games with you. They're not. They're freaking out. And all of a sudden they're like, I have to run. I have to get out of here. So to them, leaving a relationship right when they got close is a huge weight off their shoulder, a huge emotional release and relief, especially physically on their body as well. And what they don't understand is like, well, isn't that what they're feeling too? No. Nobody even mentions that part. So here's the other part. So now you're hurting and they won't even talk to you. They won't respond to your text messages, and that hurts you even more. So now you want to get a hold of them even more, and they're like running away even more. And so all of a sudden it's just like, and so here's the thing, like your pursuit of them, even if it's just a text message, I'm serious, it's freaking them out. They're like, no, I'm trying to escape that. Not escape you, not escape the text message, but the pressure. To them, their neurology receives that as pressure. You're like, but I love this person. I'm not trying to pressure them. And I know. But that's not the way they receive it. They receive it like pressure, and they run, which hurts you even more, which makes them feel even better from getting away. Now, if an avoidant listened to this video, and they might be going, huh, okay. But I don't think they'll really understand it. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Just as much as it's really hard to understand when you imagine yourself, you finally start opening up to someone that you really like. You're like, wow, this is the one. This is the person. I think I'm falling in love. And then you're like, yep, got to get the hell out of here. Like your brain goes, wait, what? Like, what? No, you don't leave. That's when you get closer. That's when you spend more time with them. So your brain, like you could logically understand it, but emotionally you can't understand it. So number one, they are not trying to hurt you. And it is the hardest thing because the first thing you want to do is yell at them after you've been, alone for a month or longer. Like, well, what's going on? What did they do wrong? And it drives you nuts. You spin, and I'm telling you right now, you didn't do anything wrong. They're just freaking out. And if you do yell at them, they're just going to run some more. They're going to close down some more. And if you text them and call them, they're going to shut down even more. It is a test of will. Like you just have to let go. I sincerely hope this video helped you to understand not only them, but to help you to understand that they're not trying to hurt you. I know it hurts, and I'm hoping that in some way this might help relieve your pain. And also the fact that someone is saying, hey, here's our side of the story too. God bless both of you. I hope you all find healing.